welcome back to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe every weekend. Dan, a weekend of upsets, more upsets, but dare I say it, controversial refereeing has crept in again. Let's start off with the big one. Stephen Crichton was not sin binned. Was he penalised?
I believe he was penalised. And everyone was like, when's the sin bin coming?
Yep, when's it
Here
coming?
comes the sin bin. Where is the sin bin and such?
Now, I've seen Wyatt Raymond cop a lot of criticism for this. I don't see how this is on him because he only had one look at it.
Yep.
He had one look at it in real time. The bunker, Liam Kennedy, had multiple avenues to look at this, recommend a sin bin, recommend a send-off. That would have been harsh.
Yep.
But a sin bin, definitely a sin bin. And all he could turn around and say was mitigating circumstances because the player was falling.
Like every other tackle we saw. Sin bin this weekend.
I want to take the heat off the referee and put that solely on Liam Kennedy. Wyatt Raymond's one of the best young referees in the competition.
Yep.
And to stand him down for that, when, as I said, he had one look in real time. He doesn't get the privilege of going, hang on a minute, let me look at the big screen.
Yeah, that's true.
He has to turn around and say, Liam, player's down, what's happened?
Yep.
And Liam Kennedy turned around and went, yeah, he fell over, it's a penalty. What are your thoughts here?
I 100% agree. When I heard that they were dropping the ref, I was like, why? Now, I know he didn't have a great game, but once a decision like that is made, all the fans turn on him.
Yeah?
Whether he's had anything to do with it. So everything little becomes big. And I think the NRL have gone, everyone's annoyed about this. We need to make a stand and drop them both. The bloke in the bunker, I've been... Look, I don't like to pick these referees out because it's a tough job, and I'm not saying, but I have a real problem with the bunker officials. There's a degree of arrogance, and I go back again that, we're doing this and you can't run the game without us, blah, 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 and we're super important. Okay, that's all good, well and good. But the way they talk to players, the way they make decisions, the way they call each other nicknames, oh Speedy, we got this, yeah. Just referee the game.
Yep.
And I think it's got to a point now where he's looked at that, and it should only take him one look, and you go, it's exactly the same as what happened last week. That's a sin bin.
Yeah.
And he didn't, and he went back, and it was let go, and then we saw 24 hours later, the exact same tackle lead to a sin bin. Graham Annesley again is going to come out on Monday and go, look, it was a decision made in the moment, blah, blah, blah. Except he's got all the time in the world.
Yeah, and he, like, the worst part about Annesley is he's going to turn around and go, look, on a technicality, he was falling, which is why I understand that Liam Kennedy made that decision. So if you understand why Liam Kennedy made that decision, why is he being dropped? I will take the heat off Wyatt Raymond on this one here because the bunker was brought in to not get this wrong. It's the same, like, if ever you want to complain about it, go and watch the EPL because the VAR over there is just as bad and the referees are just as bad at backing their mates. But yeah, for Liam Kennedy to have multiple looks, multiple camera angles, and he doesn't have to make that decision in 10 seconds. There's no shot clock on that.
Nope.
So he can turn around and go, hang on a minute, this is a pretty serious hit here. Two of us checks obviously down. Let me have a look. Let's go through the process.
Yeah.
Instead, he turned around and goes, Sheck was falling.
He's falling. But see, when he said mitigating circumstances, every single tackle this season that's led to a sin bin has been mitigating. Yeah. Justin Olam got sent off for a bloke who fell into his shoulder. Yeah. Now, I still maintain that was a send-off, but there were mitigating circumstances. Yeah. Why now? Where did that come from?
Jesse Ramian got sin binned for tackling a bloke on Sunday afternoon where if Daniel Atkinson doesn't make that legs tackle, Ramian gets him in a normal shot over the sideline.
Yeah, mitigating.
But because Atkinson took the legs tackle, Ramian gets him in the head. Royce Hunt got penalised for walking across and tackling a guy because he was falling.
Yep.
And got put on report for it.
It's ridiculous, and it's another one of these things that we hear come out of nowhere. Decision made. Yeah,
decision made. Now, speaking of decisions made, it should be confirmed this week that Josh Schuster is set to... revamp his career.
He's coming back
on a 1-year minimum wage deal with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I am not sure where he's going to play. He'll probably come off the bench.
Yep.
Probably start the year in New South Wales Cup.
I would say so. Yep,
absolutely. Look, it's not a bad signing. I think we said a couple of weeks ago if anyone could try and get him back on track, it was either going to be a Bellamy or a Bennett.
That's exactly what we said.
Or a Cleary. I mean, I think he actually would have been really good out at Penrith.
Yeah, I like the signing.
Yeah.
I said when he left that he's going to have to bide his time and come through New South Wales Cup on a minimum wage deal. He's going to have to prove that he wants to play football. he's obviously looked at all his options, and I'm of the opinion that he had a few. Said, look, Bennett's the guy. If anyone can resurrect my career, it's the guy who's had 10,000 games in charge. And that's not that much of an overstatement. He's come in, he's playing minimum 1 year. It's all to play for. If he goes kaboom and plays anywhere near like we know he can rather, he could sign a significant deal either at South or elsewhere. They don't have, Kolomatangi and Murray are their two best forwards, both middles. You know, we saw Talis Duncan come in and out of the team and Jacob Host who, play Schuster there. So there's an avenue through. So I really I think he's made the right decision here.
I think he's made the second best call that he could have made. I think the best call that he could have made would be to go to Melbourne, get out of the Sydney spotlight. But there was no link to Melbourne. I just think if there was any club where he could have just gone down there and put head down, bum up, it would have been the Storm. Second best is South Sydney under Bennett. We've seen Bennett take players and just turn around and go, I'm not going to take your crap.
Yep.
I'm not going to take your ego. You leave that at the door.
Yep.
You'll play where I tell you to play.
And he's resurrected players, Dane Gagai being the main one, that could have been lost to rugby league. So I'm glad to hear, because you don't want these players. He's not done anything wrong. He just hasn't lived up to a ridiculous contract that he didn't go in and say, oh, give me this ridiculous amount of money. Manly came to him. So I think he's been a little bit victimised by the fan base. I'm happy to see. And look, if it doesn't work out, it's a minimum deal. Yeah. Who cares? It's a year. South win-win for everyone.
Now, someone who didn't win this weekend was Shane Flanagan. And I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. Shane Flanagan gave us the best years of our life as a Sharks fan, bar none, because we won the comp, right? True. Congratulations to him. He also put us through hell, and it was fun.
Well, yeah. Now we look back on it, and it's fun.
But I'm taking real aim at Shane Flanagan this week, because after the Titans game, he was asked a question, how fired up are you for the game next weekend? And his response was, I don't even know who we're playing. Right? Shane, judging by that, your team didn't even know who they were playing. And if that was your attitude towards a local derby, your biggest rival, your closest competition, the team that you took to the premiership that sacked you because you were an idiot, you've had nothing but nothing but bad things to say about Cronulla on your way out. You told your son to leave. Thank you.
Best thing he ever did for the club.
Yeah, and if you didn't know that you were playing the Sharks this week, the Dragons board should be hauling you in and sacking you.
He knew.
Yeah.
He laughed, he knew.
But
disrespectful, but he knew.
But the way that the Dragons came out to that, it was like they didn't care that it was a local derby. The only team that cared that it was a local derby was Cronulla.
It was.
He didn't have them fired up for, if they won that game on the weekend, they guaranteed themselves finals football.
Yeah. They
weren't fired up.
Nope.
They didn't care that it was a local derby.
No.
And he didn't seem to give a shit all week either, because you didn't hear anything about, Flano should have been, he always runs to the media. Whenever he wants to sign someone, whenever he misses out on a play, whenever something goes against him, he always runs to the media. He should have been on the phone to all his mates this week going, I hate them, I hate everything about them.
This is revenge.
Yeah, when I was there, I was trying to fold them.
Yeah.
That's what he should have been saying.
He's a Dragons player, so, and he almost did.
Yeah.
So there's some
there
truth
are so many things that he could have said, and all he said was, I don't even know who we're playing. Funny, your team didn't know who they were playing either. If that's the attitude that he's got towards, that's their biggest game. They're not going to make a grand final in the next 3 years. That's their biggest game. That's what their fans are looking forward to all week long. I was putting pictures up on Twitter this week, and I had Dragons fans in there going, you're going to get pumped this week, you're going to get flogged, I hope you're looking forward to a flogging. Are you going down so I can spit at you? Yep. Was one of the replies that I got.
Oh, good.
Yeah, brilliant.
Nice, friendly Red V fans.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you should have seen it tonight, what I was copping.
Yeah.
But
there's a little bit of hatred there. Yeah. It's a local derby. It matters.
Yeah, you can't tell me that Craig Fitzgibbon wasn't sitting there going, let's go out there and kick the absolute hell out of our little brothers.
Look, another former Dragon.
Yeah.
He got the stink. He watched the stink off.
Yeah, he's washed it off real quick.
Look, playing devil's advocate, I know Flanagan knew who he was playing and he laughed it off. But absolutely, he should have been in the media. It should have been one of those weeks where you can't avoid the bloke. And it should have been, focus your attention on me, behind the scenes, boys, rip in and kill him.
Yeah.
They came out and they looked flat. And Cronulla rolled them early. I know they got in. Mm-hmm. A couple of things went their way, a couple of things went our way. It happens. But I didn't feel for 1 second that they were ever really, truly in that game. And when you see an international, he will play for Australia, arguably best top 3 in Origin in Zach Lomax, get 10-8'd by a rookie who's then stood and stuck his tongue out and was nerdy, I flogged ya, and Lomax didn't seem to care. His head's already in Parramatta. There's real problems there. I was expecting to come out, and if we were going to win, it'd be 13-12, and it'd be one of those games where there's 3 or 4 sin bins because they've dragged us down to their level. Never happened. Cronulla just ran right. And yeah, Flanagan's got to cop that.
Yeah, Flanagan absolutely has to cop that. From one club that's worrying to another club, should they be worrying? The Panthers.
The Panthers.
2 weeks ago, we're in a minor premiership showdown with the Melbourne Storm.
Absolutely.
Now they find themselves in 4th.
They do, and susceptible to a Bulldogs ambush. Now, I still think they'll finish top 4, and I'm not worried about Penrith. I want to be very clear about this. Bombing out straight sets. I still think they're probably not the team to beat right now.
No, that's Melbourne.
It's
in
Melbourne.
A canter.
But Nathan Cleary is due back in the finals, we think. Young Jack Cole was injured in New South Wales Cup earlier over the weekend. I think it was a hip drop.
Busted his ankle.
Brad Schneider's, he's not that good.
Dane Laurie's got to go back to 5'8".
That's what I was going to say. Dane Laurie there, and they seem to have dropped Taruva out of whatever.
Yep.
He needs to go back on the wing. I think that is the only chance they have, and I think they need to get that running for the next 2 weeks in case Cleary can't come back. Even if he does, there's a good chance he's going to come in undercooked. Don't think he'll play week 1 in the finals because they know with him back they can go through. So they'll probably win it again.
Well, they're probably looking at it. If they finish 4th, they're on Melbourne's side of the draw, week 1 of the competition. Get that out of the way.
Lose to Melbourne, then go undefeated.
Lose to Melbourne.
And then beat them in the grand final.
Yeah, probably taking on the Dogs.
Yeah.
And then you got to go and play either the Roosters or the Sharks.
Yeah, I'm not worried about them, but this is the first time I've seen their depth truly tested.
This is the first time I've seen Ivan Cleary make a pretty poor call at the back end of the season because Dane Laurie has just got something about him. The minute he's got the ball in his hands, he's got something about him. And you see him make line breaks on the wing. Yep. Imagine what he can do in the middle of the field against tired forwards. He's got to play the 6.
Yeah, he does. Let's hope he's not watching the show and we don't help him.
Yeah. Now, Sam Walker is testing the market come November 1. I love this for Sam Walker. I love it for everyone involved because he's long been linked as the Adam Reynolds replacement.
Yes.
Right? He has long been linked as the Adam Reynolds replacement. And he is probably looking at himself going, the Dolphins will throw a contract at me because I could play really well next to Katoa.
Yeah, I like that.
The Titans could throw a big contract at me because it's Kieran Foran's last year.
Yep.
The Broncos will throw a big contract at me because I am the Adam Reynolds replacement. And then I'll take this back to the Roosters.
Yeah.
Someone's cap is going to get crippled by signing one of the best halfbacks in the competition.
He's gonna command pretty much what he wants.
Yep.
I have a question though. Is the Roosters' aura falling?
I think the reason why he's testing the market is because Swati Lee is gone.
Yep.
His second biggest weapon to just throw the ball and get himself out of trouble is gone.
Joe Manu. Yep.
In Joe Manu. And Luke Keary is gone.
True.
So he's probably looking at it now going, right, what's out there for me?
Yep.
I'm going to say the tastiest option for him is the Titans.
They got some freaks coming through. They're a couple of years off something special.
Yeah, you got Kinney and you got Campbell.
Yep.
The next best option I would look at, seriously, would be the Dolphins.
Yep.
But I think I think he's looking at it going, imagine me in a Brisbane shirt. He was a Brisbane junior.
He is.
His dad won a premiership at the Broncos.
He's gonna play a fair bit of Origin, I dare say.
I think he's looking at that going, but Haas, Walsh, and
Carrigan.
all that. I think if he really wants to back himself though, the most tasty prospect is the Titans. The easy option is the Broncos.
Yeah, I got this feeling that he's going to resign for the Roosters.
I don't.
But see, the fact that we're even discussing this, a couple of years ago, Cooper Cronk came up, you just knew he was going to the Roosters.
Yeah.
Smith came up, you know he's going to the Roosters. It had this aura about this club that seems to have dipped a little bit. Because I can't see a world where Joey Manu walks away from the Roosters a couple of years ago. I think the Tedesco thing annoyed him because I think he wants fullback, and I think I'll look back at that and go, probably should have given him fullback. I think he'll be back. Suoli went to play that other rubbish code that's going broke and no one cares about, rather than playing for the Roosters. There's been a few players, and I just feel like the Roosters of old would have said, "Hey Sam, you want to be the Roosters halfback?" Yes.
Yeah.
What do you want? Doesn't matter. Just sign me. Make it worth my while. He doesn't need to test the market. He can go, I'm going to get $1 million from the Broncos. I'm going to get 1.2 from the Titans. Match it in your mind. The fact that he's come out and said, I'm excited to test the market, says to me, I'm not sure if I want to stay at the Roosters.
I don't think he's going to stay at the Roosters. I honestly, as I said, on a personal just thinking level, the juiciest option, Alofa Pereira, Jojo Fifita, Kinney, that Titans team is exciting. But I think for him, he's probably looked at himself in that Broncos jersey with Ezra Mann, with Reece Walsh, with Pat Carrigan, with Payne Haas, guys who's going to play a lot of Origin with.
Big time.
And I think he's looking at that going, that's it.
Gary.
Talk to me, Dan.
Trying to talk some black, white and blue. And for the 25th week in a row, the Sharks go undefeated. Newtown doesn't count when they lose. What a weekend.
Oh, what a game.
What a game. Big Brother is us now. We are Big Brother now.
Yeah, look, I had my rant already about Shane Flanagan and the Dragons, so I don't think you need to say too much about them.
We're not going to mention the Dragons. Because they don't deserve it.
I think I am. I think I'm just going to say a little bit more. Like, as I said, a win over us probably would have... a win over us would have all but secured them in the finals. But what it does do is it makes it top sport really exciting.
It does.
That's all I'm going to say.
That's fair enough.
For us, the excitement levels, we are playing some really good footy lately.
Yeah.
Some really, really good footy lately.
Yeah, we are. There's a run hard, tackle hard mentality, which is... Rugby League 101. And you saw with Trindle come out, there's just that little bit of creativity and flair we've lacked over the last few weeks. Really exciting.
I want to say this, right? Dan Atkinson has done an absolutely commendable job for us this year. And you wouldn't begrudge him taking an opportunity at another club to go and get, if Penrith came to him and said, you come be our 5'8" next to Nathan Cleary, you wouldn't begrudge that opportunity for him at all, anywhere, right? But geez, I know he's been playing halfback, but tricky in the 7 just does things.
Trindle made a world of difference. I know the thing is that when Atkinson plays the halves, yes, factually that's true. Games that we can't dominate, you need that creativity. And there was a time where St George were close. I say St George disrespectfully. They were close. And then it was just that little bit of magic from Trindle. Yeah,
it was 10-6. He goes and throws the ball to Iro.
Yeah, and
for a great try.
And it was a beautiful play. That line. That line was filth. That's what that was.
It was absolutely disgusting. Then there was the 14-10. The Dragons are getting back in the game. He just hoists that ball.
Yep.
Boy, did he kick the absolute hell out of it. And great chase through from Kennedy. Yep. That was a near perfect game. At halftime, we had 90% completion. Yeah. We just hadn't killed off the... at halftime, we could have been 26-6 up.
We could have been.
Out of sight, out of mind.
If Ashley Klein knew the offside rule and the bloke that picked the ball up 5 metres in front of it, there was a knock-on either way. Didn't lead to Rami and getting sin binned. Now, for the record, yes, it was a sin bin.
Yes.
Should never have got to that because the wish should have been blown.
I didn't like the ruling from Ashley Klein where he turned around and said there was foul play, you can't challenge.
Yeah.
That needs to be, we get that there was foul play, however, it should never have got to that spot. Yep. Now, I would be okay with them going back and challenging it and then going, cool, we got it wrong, it's your ball, ram in, you are on report and you are in the bin.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
And you can't take away what happened.
Yeah. Because otherwise you turn around and go, he's absolutely knocked on, I'm going to go and drop kick that guy in the face.
Exactly right.
Right?
Yeah, it opens it up.
It does open up a can of worms, but look, a great win, a good boost to our for and against as well. I think we're at about plus 207.
Yeah, well, we're ahead of Penrith.
Yeah, and the Dogs are about 150.
Yep.
Right,
and
so we're about 50 points.
They've got Manly. So.
That's it. They've got Manly. We've got the Warriors, and then we've got Manly. By that time, there hopefully we know destiny's in our hands. Penrith have got a pretty basic game coming up.
Penrith, they should be wherever they play.
But yeah, that's just. I just want to say, getting some troops back, right? Getting Iro back in that centre, I've never felt so confident about locking up an edge.
Yep.
And I know he made a mistake and people were quick to jump at you. He got pushed in the back and then he got dragged away.
Yeah, look, victim blaming online. It's just the fact that people sit and wait for an Iro mistake just because they think it upsets me.
Yeah, I want to give a huge shout out to a couple of players first. Our props, our starting props were incredible.
They were.
our bench just did not let the Dragons have any inch at all in this game. And our backup wingers. There was a lot of discourse during the week about, oh God, Hirotti's playing. Last time Hirotti played for us, he was man of the match in Perth, and he didn't let anyone down, and he jogged over for a try.
He did. The Hirotti was fine. You know what you're going to get with him.
He's your fourth string winger.
He is.
He's your fifth string centre.
In Samuel Stone Street, you have someone who is just special. And the fact that he 10-8'd Zach Lomax at home in Wollongong, Lomax's home ground, blah, blah, blah. It's Sam Stone Street's home ground now. I tried to edit the Wikipedia page to say Zach Stone Street and Sam was his dad. Wouldn't let me because someone else beat me to it. But
absolutely
love
amazing.
me some Samuel Stone Street, mate. And to anyone watching that thinks he isn't special.
Now, in the press conference, Craig Fitzgibbon has said that Nicho Hynes is a chance to come back next weekend. First of all, I just want to get your thoughts on this. Secondly, does he come straight back into the starting team for you?
Yes. I can't see Nicho coming from the bench. It takes away. It's all or nothing. If you're going to play someone on the bench, Dan Atkinson. Put him there. I wouldn't, but if you're going to do that, I would. Now, there's been a bit of discourse that Nicho Hynes, and we didn't even mention Britt Nicker. We're going to save that for Fins Up because I'm going to just go all in on that guy.
Well, yeah, there's Britt Nicker and there's Blake Brayley as well.
It's going to be fun.
Blake Brayley was awesome.
He was
today.
Stay tuned for
he
that.
He should get all the Dalian points. All of them.
Nicker.
Every single one.
We'll discuss. Nicho Hynes, though. Yeah, look, of course you bring him back. There's going to be a fair amount of the groups, yes, that are quick to, Nicho this, Nicho that. And Dan Atkinson's going to pay a price that he probably doesn't deserve to pay. Let's be honest. I know I was a bit critical last week. That was an attention thing. That was obvious. Yes, you bring Nicho Hynes back. Yes, you put him there. If he plays like shit or gets injured, you bring Atkinson back for the last week and whoosh, you're ready for the finals. You do not have $1 million halfback who won a Dally M and has been your best player for 2 and a bit seasons. You don't leave him out for a bloke who's playing okay because Nicho had a couple of bad games.
Wage contract.
Yes, obviously. Now, there are going to be people that say, we'll drop Trindle. No. Trindle's been our best half all season, including Nicho. So, no, you bring him back as soon as he's fit because if the game's close, Nicho Hynes is the difference.
I've got a couple of things. I want Nicho in the 6 because you go back and you have a look at him playing this year, he's done a lot of running. You have a look at Dan Atkinson this year in the 6, he's done a lot of running. Hynes does it better.
Yes.
Just simple as that. I wouldn't mind seeing Will Kennedy just have a game off.
Yep.
Maybe against Manly with Atkinson at fullback, just to see what it looks like with that halves combination.
Fair enough.
But yeah, look, for me, it's this is Nicho Hynes' team. Do you think that if Penrith win the next 2 weeks and Nathan Cleary's fit and healthy, they're going to go, oh no, we'll keep Dane Laurie in the 6?
Yes.
No.
That's a very...
Are we going to drop Jerome Luai? No.
Teams are going to look and go, holy crap, you throw Nicho Hynes into that team and they're...
This is the thing about good teams. You have depth.
Yep.
And this is the thing about when you're a depth player, you pay the price.
Yeah.
That price is, he's either going to be in the 14, I don't think he will be, I think he'll be in the 18.
He's got to be the 18 there,
Our bench is going to, Talakai and Williams are a lock into that bench, and then you've got to put 4 into 2 of Hamlin, Ueli, Hunt, Big Bald Tom, and Atkinson. Atkinson's the easy dropout for mine, probably with Royce Hunt at this point.
I agree with that. You got to go in, but it's not the only selection headache. Now, let me be clear here. I don't see a world in which we don't run Ronaldo and Katoa if they're fully fit. My argument, however, is that we shouldn't be doing that because Samuel Stone Street is special. He can do... and I'll tell you what, that left edge with him and Hero, I'd be very, very tempted to say, hey, Ronnie, can you play on the right?
And Ronnie can play on the right. We've seen that as well. That left edge is awesome. With Stone Street's still young, and I get this. I'm not critical of us re-signing Katoa when we did. I'm critical of us re-signing Katoa for the amount of time that we did. He's the one that should have been, here's a 1-year deal, and you've got a continuous 1-year deal.
We'll keep tagging him,
He's now the one where I'm going up and saying, look, Chris Vaiola's pretty good. Michael Gabriel's pretty good.
Yep.
We got Christian Dixon. We got Taweri Wateri in Jersey Flegg.
Bit of talent there.
Yeah, we've got Nakora Williams. I'd be going up to Katoa saying, there is a market for you at the moment.
Yeah.
Go and see what it is and take the best available option.
Absolutely. And no, I'm not begrudging Katoa. I think he's had a really good season, but he's not Sam Stone Street.
No. And like a team, like he could go to Penrith.
Yeah,
Katoa could go to Penrith. He'd go to Parramatta. He'd get a start at Parramatta easily.
He would.
So yeah, I'm with you on this because you have to have a look at balancing your books and young talent. And Stone Street, we've done the interview with him. He's a local junior. He cried on grand final day, and he's really, really, really good.
He is
really good.
So another agenda.
Speaking of really good, for the 5th week in a row, is it? Jersey
5th week
Flegg
in a row. Yep.
have scored 50 points.
And the 6th week they've gone over 40.
Yeah, 50 bagged, little brother.
Yeah, they did.
Now, they had a heartbreaking loss against the Canterbury Bulldogs, 23 points to 22.
Yep.
Canterbury is second, I believe,
Yeah, they are.
Jersey Flegg.
That was the last game we lost.
And since then, they've just gone on this absolute tear where they're just punishing teams. And Riley Pollard, he is insane. He's insanely good.
Your Jets fans are licking their lips next year.
Yeah, he is so good. He's a development player next year, elevated into the top 30 the year after. Sensational talent. It's the same as Liam Eason. We got them both from Penrith. Sensational talent.
Thanks, Penrith.
Yes, very good.
Things went our way this weekend too. We needed Manly to lose or Newcastle. Now Newcastle did hold on.
Oh no, they were down 14-6 and scored 18 points in 7 minutes.
It was unfortunate, but Manly lost.
Manly lost to the Tigers,
by
who
a point,
are chasing us
which
as well.
puts us in a position whereas if we beat the Warriors this Saturday night, we go into the finals.
Yep.
And once you're there, I bet you there's a few teams going, God, I hope they don't get there.
Like you'd be looking at that now going, that Cronulla team is sensational with the way that they're playing.
They're form team of the comp by a long, long way. The only problem is with Flegg is we can go and lose to the Warriors who have nothing to play for this week because it's Jersey Flegg. And on any given night, anything can happen. But
we've scored more points than anyone in this competition by a mile. They've conceded more points than anyone.
So many, which says to me that they beat us 4-0 or something.
8-6,
But make sure you get there and cheer the boys on.
Yeah, 5:30 game, I'm going to head down to that to see some of the young stars.
I was going to go to the Jets, but I'm a bit off them right now.
Yeah, look, they tanked.
They did. They rested 6 or 7 players. There are a lot of players that were in the stands for Cronulla tonight and having a laugh that could have played. Because, and this isn't official, but I think both teams above us had very winnable games. They put too much space. Minor premierships gone. They both lost. If we had played our full team, we spanked that Dragons team and we're sitting in the premiership 11th. Next week we play the Warriors at Henson Park, 3 p.m. I'm going to try and do all 3. Not possible, but we'll see how we go. If we win, we can finish anywhere from 1st to 3rd. If we lose, we can finish 3rd or 4th. Oh, we'll finish 4th rather, because they'll go above us. There's a chance I think we can finish 5th, but everything has to go. They're locked in. Finals has returned.
So we're locked in for the finals for the Jets.
Yep.
Destiny's in our hand for Flegg.
Yep.
We're locked in for the finals for NRL and got one hand on top 4.
Yep.
How are the girls going, Dan?
Look, they had a fairly convincing win and now sit 4 points clear at the top of the table. 5 from 5 for the first time in the competition's history. I believe, don't fact check me because I don't care. They are so good. Emma Tonegado went down there. Now, she's a former Dragon, but I won't hold that against her, and said, you know what? This is my house. She, Carl Flanagan, them, but did it in a way that was just, she pulled their pants down and had a way.
She didn't do it when they were down by 18 points.
No, so good. And the rest of the players went with them. Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh
see,
my.
The best thing that we ever did was get Tiana Penatati out of that Parramatta contract.
Yeah.
She is an amazing captain, an amazing player. We have been big on the Brooke Anderson train this way. And she's probably the 4th best player on the park. I loved Holly Wheeler, pointing at someone in the first set and then just running at them. But when there was the little scuffle in the second half, I think the score was 22-4. There was a scuffle between Biddle and a player on the ground. And Brooke came in, pushed the girl and was like, oi, watch it, you're kicking. And then the ref handled that really well. It was like, come on, ladies.
Settle down,
back,
let's play on.
Let's go. We're playing really good footy. I like the winger, Rabbix. Yeah.
I said pre-season that she would top the try scoring. Before tonight, she only had 1 try.
Yeah.
But she's going to catch them.
Yeah.
Trust me.
She's very good.
And Nessa Biddle has this thing where if she catches a dropout, she doesn't look to pass. The fact that she ran backwards to stop, turned around, looked, and just ran. Yeah. That woman loves contact like no one else in the game. It's so exciting.
I think it was 12 4 or 18-4, and we got a penalty, kicked it into touch, and she tapped it on the 40 and ran into the line and kept going and got tackled 15 metres out.
She's a freak.
Oh, she's so good.
She's enormous. The girls are flying. Look,
girls are absolutely flying.
We've got some difficult games. We've got the Titans this weekend, Brisbane, and the Roosters. So it's not.
And then we finish off with the Tigers.
Yeah, but it's looking good. Mm-hmm. The girls, they couldn't have done anything more. No. They're literally flawless. And we don't even have our superstar fullback. Things are going well in the Shire.
Yeah, and also as well, last week we said there was the injury, the unfortunate injury to Tale Holmes. She's all clear this week. Didn't play, probably won't play again for another couple of weeks, but that's okay. We've got depth.
It's all right. Rest up. See you in the finals.
We are flying. Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
Some top sport tips.
Certainly is. Now I'm going in blind because I haven't seen the ladder for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to tell you that last week was such a mess with the money balls and the steal the points and the no. There was a no point round. I took the Tigers.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Sucks.
So I haven't updated it, but we're 2 weeks out and I'm above you by about 12 points.
Fine.
Which is unreal for me because I'm going to eat some delicious steak and you're going to pay for it. Also, the good people at Top Sport are going to match our losses, which are piling up.
They're getting high. Sorry,
and Dids is going to double it. We love that. Everything's great. Producer Dids is just the man here. So this week, we're not going to draw anything out of the hat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to allow you to pick 2 Moneyball games. I'm going to pick 2 Moneyball games
Tactics.
as well. Now, we can't pick the Sharks as the Moneyball game.
Okay.
So you've got to pick 2 others.
2 others.
And we'll pick them after we tip differently.
Okay, sweet.
If we tip differently.
We will.
We will. Let's starting Thursday night. The North Queensland Cowboys are taking on the Melbourne Storm.
Moneyball.
Get a Moneyball this
Cowboys. Because there's no chance Melbourne play a full-strength team.
So I'm going to pick the Cowboys, you idiot.
Moneyball.
Why would you do that?
You're a coward, that's why.
I'm not picking the Storm. I was going to say the same thing. There is no way that... Don't Moneyball this game. There is no way Melbourne are going up there without 17 players that aren't hungover. Yeah. Or no, you're not going to take Jerome Hughes. You're not going to take Pappenhausen. Suafai-Longo is going to play that game. Wishart's going to be the halfback. Yep. You're probably going to be the captain.
You'll be
Don't Moneyball it.
Ready to go,
Cowboys.
boys.
Friday, 6 o'clock. Dogs versus Manly. Stop it. You don't even know who I'm tipping yet.
No, I don't care.
Dogs Manly at home. Now, if ever this was a time where you wanted to turn around and go, you know what? We're locking Manly out, taking this game to Belmore.
Yep.
Do it.
That'd be so good.
It's at a court at 6 o'clock, so there's probably going to be about 15 people there.
Yeah. That sucks. I really wish this had a better time slot in game.
Yeah. This and the Spoon Bowl at the 6 o'clock games, which is absolutely awful. The NRL needs to do something about this.
They did. They knew this was going to happen.
They knew this was coming as well. Look,
who you tipping, Terry?
I'm going to tip Canterbury.
Moneyball, Manly.
Really?
Why not?
Good on you. Friday night, Penrith and the Rabbits. I'm not moneyballing this one because I'm picking Penrith. Don't care what you say.
Yeah, look, Penrith. The bunnies are just...
Right, I'm going to call moneyball on this one.
You're guilty.
The Eels and the Dragons.
Oh, God.
Right. 3 o'clock. The Eels need a win to avoid going in as last against the Tigers. They're going to be desperate.
Yep.
The Dragons
suck.
Have got to win because there are some, like the Broncos have got a favourable game.
We might have gone off too early there.
The Knights and Titans have got a favourable game coming up. So I'm going to pick the Eels in a money ball.
All right. Well, the Dragons for me, obviously, because it's fun. Mm-hmm. I think the Dragons were humbled by the Sharks. I mean, better teams than them have been beaten by the Sharks.
So the Dragons are minus 129 on their for and against. The Broncos are plus 2. The Eels are desperate.
Yeah.
Because the Tigers have the bye. So the Tigers, starting the round with that 2 points, have leapfrogged the Eels. The Eels don't want to be last.
True. I just don't think they can do anything about it.
They don't want to be last. They're going to beat the Dragons.
Yep.
The Dragons are done. They're cooked. The minute Will Kennedy took that ball, their season ended. I'm calling it now. The minute Will Kennedy jumped over Tyrell Sloan, scored under the post, and Ben Hunt cried, Dragons season over, Eels winning this game, and comfortably.
No, you're wrong.
5:30, Dolphins Broncos, the last game of the 4X Cup. Broncos win this, they win the 4X Cup.
Sweet.
Moneyball.
Yep.
Broncos.
All right, well, I'll go.
Actually, no. Who do we want? No, we want the Broncos to win. and the Dolphins always let me down.
Yep.
So I'm going to pick the Dolphins.
Okay, well, I'll go the Broncos.
In a money ball. I'm doing this.
Money ball.
I'm doing this for everybody because we don't want the Dragons in the finals.
Money ball.
Do we want the Broncos in the finals, though?
Money ball.
Money ball. And then we don't need to worry about Moneyball in this game because it is the Moneyball game. The Sharks and the Warriors at home. Sean Johnson's last ever game.
Yep.
Now, no Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
Yep.
We're waiting for the judiciary report to come out on Adam Fanua-Blake.
Yep. Take a week.
He got put on report. Yeah, hopefully. Sharks flying in good form at home. Last home game of the season, maybe.
Yep.
Maybe. Look, you have to pick the Warriors because it's been working.
Yep.
I have to pick the Sharks because it's been working.
I bet.
We're here. McDonald Jones Stadium.
Ugh.
The Knights still in contention for the finals based on the Dragons' loss.
Yeah, true.
Based on them winning last weekend.
Ah!
They're up against the Titans.
Moneyball, you're going to take the Knights, right?
Yeah, I am going to take the Knights.
I'll take the Titans. What the hey?
Hey. And then the final game of the round, the Roosters are taking the Raiders. Roosters are the red hot favourites for this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Roosters. Yep. You're taking the Roosters as well.
Yes.
Cool. That's all we need to say. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. We're 2 weeks away from the Spoon Bowl, Dan. I am so excited for this. It's happening. It's happening. Is Woody going to get a haircut?
He's going to get a hair colour change.